What's shaking, peepers? It's Sudaba with another action figure rundown, and this time it's going to be Spider-Man 2022 edition. This past year we had an exorbitant amount of Spider-Man released this year, mostly because of the anniversary for Marvel and the Spider-Man being 40 years old. So, let's start with the one that I got first this year, which would be Your Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. Now, this one here is a redo, really, of the old Toy Biz Amazing Fantasy version that we received, complete with the webbings here from the original edition. I actually took this off of a Toy Biz McFarlane Spider-Man, because the plastic ones that came with this one weren't great. They're fine if you wanted to leave them in static position, but other than that, I didn't really care for them. They were much like the Spider-Woman webbing cape / armpit dangly things. I don't know. Anyways, I ripped this one off, like I said, the Toy Biz one. I think it was the McFarlane one, but dressed it up. This is a fantastic figure, pulled right out of a Stan Lee Amazing Fantasy comic book. I can picture it in my mind with him swooping across the cover, holding that dude. Really, really well done. Marvel Legends did a great job on this. Can't complain at all. The next one I got this year was the one that everybody fell in love with as soon as it came out. This is from the Spinneret 2-pack. For me, I'm not a big fan of it. The spider logos are too big on the front and the back. The color is a little dark for me. I'm not a big fan of this navy blue. If you're going to go blue, you should go the Amazing Fantasy kind of blackish deep charcoal gray color. So I much prefer that. But this dark blue, not really digging it. But you know what? Everybody loved him. Why? Because he has the bendy toes. Oh my, bendy toes. How great. To me, they don't do anything, honestly. The head sculpt is really great on this one. I will say that. The head sculpt is fantastic. Big eyes. Looks great. I will say that. But he just marched too big. That's a gripe of mine. If you stand him up with Captain America here, this is kind of the anniversary edition, brings images of Alex Ross covers in your mind, but he's just too tall. Like, he's almost as tall as Cap here, and that's just way too big for Spider-Man. Spider-Man should be shorter. Spider-Man should be like Amazing Fantasy here. Even I know this is a teenage version. He's probably should be a little bit bulkier for more of an adult version, but even still, he shouldn't be that tall. Like, he's supposed to be 5'10" in the comic books. Cap is 6'4"-ish, right? So, like, it's just Spider-Man. I don't like a big Spider-Man. Now, everybody else might be different, but I personally don't like a big Spider-Man. So, next Spider-Man I got was... Actually, yeah, it is this one. It's dissociated. I got this one relatively early in comparison to other people. Walmart just kind of shipped it out one day without telling me. It showed up on my porch on a Sunday, I believe. So it was kind of out of the blue, but they did a great job with this Spider-Man on the paint. Shell shading I'm not a great fan of, but you know what? It's okay, not too bad. The light colored blue, they hit that. They nailed the light colored blue. So that looks amazing. When we look at the mask, is something of a gripe for me. Now, I get what they were trying to go for here. They wanted to make him look like he was somebody wearing a mask, right? I don't think they nailed it. I think it makes his face look awkward, triangular, which, for me, not a great head sculpt. But fantastic figure on the same buck as the Amazing Fantasy, so a fan of that minus the head. Now, here is Spider-Man from his Amazing Friends 3-pack. Now, this, if it had the same color as the Cell Shade Spider-Man, would be Marvel Legends Perfect Spider-Man. For me, it will still be Marvel Legends perfect Spider-Man. I would rather have the lighter blue, but it's not bad. The logos are small. I like that. The webbing looks good. This face sculpt is classic. I can picture it from the 80s cartoon going across the screen. So for me, nailed it. Awesome. Great. He's short, right? Pull him out there again. Amazing Fantasy Buck. So he's short in stature there. So I like that. Marvel Legends best Spider-Man to date. If we compare him to what was released earlier in the first retro series, great job on this one. I loved it when it first came out. Unfortunately, he's just been replaced in the Year of the Spider-Man. But still like him. He'll sit on my shelf as one of my Spider-Men. He can kind of be an adult version. He's a little bit shorter, so he could qualify for that. Chances are I'll probably end up pulling the head off of the Spinneret 2-pack and pop it on there for an adult version Spider-Man. But great Spider-Man all in all. Is that amazing Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends 3-pack Spider-Man. Great, best Spider-Man Marvel Legends has made to date. Now, speaking of that classic retro buck, at the beginning of this year, so he kind of leads in to 2022 with the Amazing Spider-Man here. This is the symbiote version from on the retro 2-pack. You can see it behind there. I did pop the symbiote hands on there because I like the ones with the circles, so he could actually be the symbiote. I know it's not cartoon accurate. He did not have the holes, but for me, it looks great. Great Spider-Man. Actually holds the buck better, I think, than the retro, the original retro. 1.0, I guess. But no, this is a great Spider-Man. Awesome. Only thing is, Mafex came out and destroyed it. Sorry. This Spider-Man here is the best Spider-Man. Until Mafex released this black suit Spider-Man. This black suit Spider-Man is amazing. He's on that original shiny Spider-Man buck, which is perfectly fine. It's great buck. If you ain't broke, don't fix it. Awesome articulation, great coloring. Love that the spider is actually carved into the sculpt, so you can actually feel the legs. Looks fantastic. Mafex knocked it out of the park. Love this guy. He's absolutely amazing. He was my favorite Spider-Man. Love this costume. When it came out in the 80s as a kid, I instantly fell in love with it. That cover from Secret Wars number 8, I still have it. I have it, and I look at it all the time. Absolutely love it. It's amazing, and Mafex pulled it right out. And even, look here. He's got the blue feet. Come on. The soles of his feet are blue, like McFarlane's 300. Awesomely done. Mafex, you knocked it out of the park. Now, for the best Spider-Man of 2022. Mafex comic version 2. Now, when you close your eyes, I know this is true for me, this is the Spider-Man that I envision. The red's perfect. The blue is perfect. The logos are the right size. The eyes are the right size. Look at that eye. Absolutely amazing. Perfect. Color's great. He killed it. For me, this is the best Spider-Man of 2023. Now, before people start complaining about the price and we can't compare Marvel Legends to Mafex, it's not true anymore. Like, when the price point is changing so much, especially with Japanese exchange, this Amazing Fantasy here was, with shipping and everything, over $100. With Japanese shipping and exchange, I think this one came to $65, but $75. Now, this here, I know came with 2 other figures, but it does not have the engineering that this has. So again, because that window is shrinking in terms of price, I'm okay with putting them together. I probably wouldn't have done that last year, but Hasbro is closing the gap on price, and with Japanese exchange, it's not quite leveling the field, but it's getting pretty darn close. So for me, the winner is Mafex Spider-Man Comic Version 2 as Best Spider-Man. My least favorite, Spinneret 2-pack. Too big, he's a monster. If it wasn't 6-inch scale, I'd be fine with it. Great figure otherwise, but it just seems like everything is too big. Logos, head, the feet even, and he's too tall. I don't like the scale. So there you have it. If you disagree with me, feel free to let me know in the comments. I always try to read and reply. Thanks for hanging out with me. You guys take it easy. All right. Later, peepers.